time of year again, isn't it, when there's so many fantastic outside celebrations. We've got Halloween, we've got Guy Fawkes or Bonfire Night, and we've got Christmas as well. And it's a great time to be outside with friends, neighbours and family, celebrating, having fun, laughing and joking. And of course, if you've got your own party outside in your garden, one thing you're going to want on those dark, cold nights is some lighting. And in our own garden here, we've got some fantastic lights. We've got these wonderful firework lights that are sparkling above me now, looking absolutely wonderful. And in the distance on our fence, we've got some gorgeous rope lights as well that are lighting up the shrubs in the distance. And even on the bench that I'm sitting on, there's these wonderful autumnal leaf lights as well that are looking really, really lovely. And I'm just enjoying sitting here as well, drinking this really lovely hot cup of tomato soup, and a little lantern down here as well that's glowing away, all adding to that feeling of warmth and enjoyment when you're celebrating with friends and family. Now, of course, one thing you will want is a central feature in the form of a fireplace. And there's so many options these days as well. You can use a chimney, you can use a fire pit, or as we're using here, you can use a fire bowl. Just make sure you site it somewhere really safe where nothing else can catch fire, and make sure it's sitting on a fireproof surface. And of course, so many different things you can use in this as well. You can use logs, you can use coal, you can use charcoal, you can use those little pellets that you can buy at petrol stations and so on, and just get that fantastic warming glow that everybody's going to want to sit around and warm their hands and warm their faces on when it's really, really cold outside. But another thing as well is food, isn't it? Everybody wants lovely, lovely food on Guy Fawkes Night. Jacket potatoes, sausage rolls, as I said, like hot soup. And another great feature you can do as well is actually toast marshmallows. I've actually doing this now, toasting these marshmallows on the fire here, giving them that wonderful colour and making them more sticky and yumptious than they ever were before. Just be careful not to scorch them like I did with mine earlier on. Now, I was talking about logs, for example, and if you're lucky enough to have a garden or access to a piece of land where there's some fallen trees or fallen branches, you can make your own logs. You can cut them up yourself very, very easily. And Webb have got two fantastic chainsaws. They've got a petrol chainsaw with a 45 centimetre cut, and that Oregon chain that is super sharp and super precise, and great safety features on this as well. But Webb also have an electric chainsaw with a 40 centimetre cut, a 2,200 watt motor and 6 meters of cable. So now you can cut those fallen trees and branches up into whatever size logs you need for your chimney or your fire pit or whatever you're actually using. And of course, if you've got lots of logs left over, you can store them as well for future use. So many things you can do this time of year, to enjoy Guy Fawkes, to enjoy being outside. And one thing you can also do, you don't need to just use lighting, you can use plants and flowers this time of year. We've got some fantastic winter flowering pansies, but you can use cyclamen as well, for example, to brighten up the days in winter and early autumn before it gets dark. But one of the main things for me, it just can't be Bonfire Night or Guy Fawkes Night without sparklers. So I'm now going to very, very carefully light the sparkler here in our little fire bowl, and I'll go back from being 58 back to being 6 years of age again. And here we go. Let's light this little sparkler here and we're off. Look at that. So all of a sudden I'm back to being 6 years of age again, whizzing my little sparkler around and just having a fantastic time celebrating Bonfire Night with great food, great lighting and great friends and family.